Mhm.
Hello.
Hey, Maribel. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of tired today. I almost fell asleep a second ago, to be honest.
Now I feel guilty.
Well, I was just talking to my kids, and I played them like 5 seconds of this little video that I've got ready for tomorrow, and they're like, "Oh my God, turn that off! It's so scary."
Oh, that's
I hope
fun.
I didn't give them nightmares, but I didn't think it was that scary. But they're 6 and 8, so
Chat, 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 chat. Yeah, we kind of made a last minute decision to go live. I was live on mine listening to some Wade Wilson while Rob was doing his call. So, but open the dash. We have Maribel in here. The problem is I can't see how many people are.
I was wondering if we were even actually live because I can't either. I can't see.
You are live because.
Well, I can see the chat, but I can't see the people in the chat. I don't think I actually ever can. But
if you click on chat comments, it should shift over.
yeah, it says on YouTube, it says there's 5 people here. So,
well,
but tell me about this petition. Is it
okay.
a real petition or is it a scam?
So it is a petition, you guys, and it's getting more. And I want to first start out by saying, in no way are Rob and I saying that she is responsible for anything or has any involvement. We are just trying to put the facts out there for you guys and help in any way we can to answer questions. So, with that, so Rob has the petition pulled up so I can see it here. Let's see.
I have not signed this petition. I don't think I like signing petitions because I never know if I'm really signing the thing. I don't know how many signatures you need for this either.
Let's take a look at it. I'm trying to well, so kind of why we wanted to talk about the petition, I believe it was started a while back, but with the new video we all just saw, right, with her at the service, people are like, oh my gosh, she's in Colorado now. We know she's there. We know she's not out of the country. I'm signing the petition. We got to get something done. That's kind of what I think is sparking people to sign this. So it is so little that I can't read. But let's see if I can go to the website.
So I just clicked on somebody in chat by accident. I don't know if it's like muting them or not. But I don't know how to gift. There's no way to gift memberships as far as I can tell. But I might have accidentally muted Maribel. There's a weird symbol.
No. Let's see. Timeless, you need to have gifted memberships. Oh, I think that's what you do, like in your settings, so that you can.
I've never seen it. I don't think there is a gifted setting.
Yeah, Mira. That's kind of, yeah, she's there. Can you see her in the chat?
Yeah, but when I clicked on her, she's got a weird symbol over her name now.
I don't know why.
Hey, Katrina.
It's like an S or something, but
yeah, I don't know what it is.
that is kind of what I wanted to chat about. Rob, did you want to kind of like go through the petition, or are you kind of feeling like,
I mean, I can read it. There's a lot of typos in it, and that's why I'm like, is this real?
oh, it's
And then when you get to the end of it, it asks you if you want to donate, and I'm like, why would I want to donate for this? you know,
no about the
um,
part. Let's see.
but I haven't signed it, and I'm not sure that I don't know. Maybe if there was like 100,000, maybe I would, but I don't know anything about where this petition came from, but I really don't like how it says donate today
Yeah,
at the end. Have you already signed it?
I did not. I want to have faith that.
It sounds like you're scared to sign it also.
Well, I want to have faith that the FBI did their thing, and also I kind of want to talk about the response that I've gotten from officials.
Okay.
So,
Well, I can read through it and I can kind of fix the typos.
yeah.
But I think, I don't know. It's like the more that I look into the Chris Watts case, the more I read about the different scenarios that people have come up with that talk about her involvement, and the fact that she was seen in Colorado. All those things starting to add up, and I'm like, well, if she's not in witness protection, then she didn't give anybody any information so that she got put in some kind of protective custody thing or something. So if that's the case, then they must have cleared her. The only thing that bothers me is that interview. The guy's like, well, this is a reason for me to be suspicious. I'm suspicious too. But then when I see the fake stuff out there, I'm like, really? So I don't know. I don't know that she had any involvement. I know that she should have been investigated a little further, at least actually cleared. But it does seem like whenever they did, when Chris Watts confessed, they kind of just like wrapped everything up, and that was it, I think.
Yeah, deal. I'll read just to give you kind of a breather, and you can look over the petition another time if you want. So you guys, on March 6th, I wrote the Frederick, Colorado Police Department because I started doing a book review on the letters to Christopher. And when I was doing that review, a lot of you were, outraged that she wasn't interrogated, right? She was interviewed. So I reached out to them explaining I just launched this YouTube channel. I said I'm a former journalist and I would like to kind of speak for my viewers, and they would like to know, is this case officially closed? Is there any update in the case? So this is their response to me. This is in the folder, but don't feel the need, Rob, that you have to pull it up or anything. But it says, Jennifer, thank you for your email. This case was thoroughly investigated by the Frederick Police Department, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and the Weld County District Attorney's Office. It is a closed case. We believe our police department was very diligent in keeping the public informed as we investigated and navigated through our community's recovery. Out of respect for the victims, the family, and those deeply impacted, we believe justice has been served and there is a sense of closure. You may request a copy of the police report, and then they provided the link to me. And I replied back, I have your reports. We have the 2,000 pages of discovery. So then I reached out that day, and about a week later to District Attorney Michael Rourke, no response. So, with that, Rob, if you kind of want to chat about this petition, I mean, obviously I'm not the only person in the world who has reached out, right, to Michael Rourke.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I know that I've heard lots of people talk about that district attorney, and they keep saying stuff like, "Oh, well, he's not going to win the election next time," or whatever. But he keeps winning, so he must be doing something right. If the people there like him, right?
No one ran against this year, though.
What's that?
No one ran against him this year. There's one to run against him, so you're stuck with him.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I mean, yeah, I was pretty shocked until I Googled it thinking, there might be a chance this does get reopened if a new DA comes in, kind of like Menendez brothers, right? A new DA in Los Angeles took over. So I thought, maybe there's a chance. And then I looked and no one ran against him. So, he ran again. I'm kind of surprised. Maybe someone from a smaller town wouldn't come in and try to run against him to get their career going. Because Colorado, has a lot of cases I think someone could learn from. Maybe not in Frederick, but around the state itself, I think would be a good experience for someone trying to get into a political career.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the comments. I don't usually pay attention to this part. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I figured out what that symbol was. I think we pinned a comment. And I was just looking through some of the other comments, and who was it? Somebody just asked a question and I lost it. Wheels of Life says, "This is graphic, but was it confirmed that he choked them?" I'm pretty sure they all had in their autopsy. They were.
Right? I mean, Shanann was choked, strangled, but the girls.
Asphyxiation. I think that's the actual term, right? Yeah. And I guess technically you could be asphyxiated if you're drowning in oil, but I don't think there was a lot of fluid in their lungs, according to the autopsy.
And I think it was just Bella who had the fluid in her lungs.
But sometimes I wish I was like a doctor, like a medical examiner, and I can actually look at this stuff and fully understand it. But I have to look up everything. Like when I see a word or a phrase, I actually went through and looked up a lot of the information on there. This was like a year ago, but I did just to try to understand it. And there's a lot of terms that don't make sense because I'm not, in that field. But, what do you guys think? Are you going to sign the petition? Yeah. I don't know how to make a poll, but I would if I could. Oh. But I'm going to go ahead and read the petition just to read it to you guys. There is typos in here, so I don't know how long this petition's been out, but it is something that people have been talking about. I've heard them say it many times, well, she's got to be investigated. And I think this would be the way to get somebody's attention. I don't know if it would actually, it's not like some kind of well, if you get enough signatures, it has to be done. Somebody has to see it and be like, okay, there's something here. Maybe we should look at it. And then in that case, they would investigate her. But I'm not totally convinced that she really had much to do with it. If anything, I think, probably just some kind of weird argument that pushed him over that she never talked about. It could be something as simple as that. But then there's a few things that's just weird, right? The
Yeah.
The cell phone ping thing, the car that her truck was in the neighborhood, or a truck that looked like hers. She sold her truck like a day or two later. Do you know exactly how long after this happened that the truck was sold?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if that is 100% accurate.
See, that's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yeah, and I'm the type of person, unless I see like a bill of sale, I to me it's speculation, to me it's rumor, like we know the Watts house sold, right? Because we can look at property records. We know that's
Right. Mhm.
Just because, a similar car that she had may have been for sale in that area. I don't know. Like, I think
I
that's
don't
kind
even know the model of her truck. Yeah, I feel like I should, but I don't. Um, but I didn't know that that was also possibly fake, the truck sell, because that's pretty weird. Like, was there something in the truck that she didn't want authorities to find? That's what I used to kind of think.
yeah.
But that driveway footage is kind of like, the more I look at it, the more it feels fake, and the more I'm not thinking the same thing I was thinking like 6 months ago. If they're faking that, what else are they faking? And I mean, if it was really from the FBI, why isn't it on the FBI website?
Well, it's on the Weld County website, and
The new footage or the old footage?
the
The
original.
zoomed in footage?
Remember, we were talking in the original footage. I have a copy of it. You do not see this shadow of a person walking by. So that's why I feel people could be altering the footage with, I mean, you can use a simple edit. Well, it's not simple. I'm not going to say Adobe and Avid are simple editing systems, but with a higher quality editing system, you could put shadows in there, put anything in there. It's very easy. But in the original video, I've watched it several times, and I do not see the shadow of the woman walking. However, yes, I've seen the footage out there on YouTube, but I'm not getting that from officials. So that's where I'm like,
Yeah, the story I heard is that it was the original, driveway footage, but somebody from the FBI got it and enhanced it. And when they enhanced it, that's when you could see everything. But it would make more sense and feel more real if it was on the FBI's website,
yeah.
But it's not.
It would be more of, you guys need to release all of this investigation. Like, if she was pinging in Frederick because she was snooping around to see if she could see, Shanann and Chris kissing goodbye that morning,
like
just
stalkery vibes or something.
Tell us, let us know. Then that would make us go, oh, okay, that's why she was there. Someone also mentioned, where did Jim's cell phone ping that morning? Did they check his phone records? Frankie Rusick says on their YouTube page that she was fully investigated, and kind of makes it sound like there's things that we as the public were not able to see that they know. And I feel people would let this go if they just are forthcoming with all of.
That is something I would like to see too. Like, if people could let this go, like they tell us, hey, she's got an alibi. She was physically somewhere else when this happened. Or if, she actually told authorities what that 111-minute phone call was about. The fact that she can't remember it, it's little things like that just makes me suspicious. It doesn't mean, just because you're suspicious, I've said this a bunch of times, just because something's suspicious, it doesn't make you guilty. It just makes, other people curious, if you're telling the truth or not. I don't know what happened. I would like to know what happened. I would like to know for sure. Like, could you imagine if she did nothing?
Yeah.
She had nothing. Her whole life is ruined. She's hiding out somewhere for the rest of her life. And
Yeah,
I mean, I would be afraid if I was in that situation and I didn't do anything. I know how the public is. The public is brutal.
yeah,
They're not all like me with the kind of like open mind and, I can consider multiple things but I want to know why they didn't investigate her, why that detective said, I got all these reasons to be suspicious, but he didn't do anything about it.
yeah. I really regret that Tammy Lee didn't take over and investigate her, honestly, because I feel like she was only interviewed by Kevin Kovac instead of Coder and Tammy Lee, who, they're the big guns that they brought in to start interviewing Chris. So why didn't they ask her a couple more questions, and
I feel like if I was a police officer investigating something, there's going to be a lot of things that, are going to probably lead to nowhere, but you got to find out if they actually lead to nowhere, right? I mean, you could just always go off assumptions and you're going to be wrong half the time, at least half the time, I don't know, but I'll read this petition and I'll try to edit the typos, but it does sound interesting. Do you know who the person is that wrote this petition? Because it states in here that someone who is deeply affected by the loss. It sounded like family member, but the name doesn't ring a bell to me.
Yes, the name doesn't ring a bell to me either. And it was sent to me. I'm guessing it was maybe someone from the community. I've been meaning to Google the person's name, and I think it'd be great if you and I reach out, Rob, and see if we can talk to this person and ask them, why are you deeply affected? Do you live in the community? Were you one of the first responders who had to be on the scene? I would love to know who this person is. And you got to admit, it takes guts to start a petition against someone.
Well, unless it's a fake name.
True.
Because, when you sign these petitions, you're putting a name on there, but, you're not putting your social on there too. So there's no way to really tie it to anyone in particular. So, but I'll read it. I think it's a good idea. I don't know that, even 10,000 signatures would be enough to get the attention of somebody. It'd have to be like 100,000, maybe, 500,000.
Yeah, and after you go through it, I would love to even read this response too from the Attorney General's office, just to kind of show us this petition is not going to do anything.
Okay, so I am going to read this. Maybe you can you add stuff to the
folder?
Present? Is there no? I mean, do you see the present button on here? Because I think if you can, you might be able to just put it in there, and then I can share it, and then people could see it.
No, I'm only on the app. There's not, but I'm on my laptop where I can add something into the folder for you. Or you pin it I'll pin it in the YouTube comment section for people to see.
Okay. All right. So, all right, guys, this is the petition. The petition is reopen criminal investigation against Nichol Kessinger in the Watts murder case. As someone deeply affected, and remember, this is not me saying this. This is the petition, the petitioner. As someone deeply affected by the tragic loss of 4 innocent lives in the Watts murder case, I am compelled to raise this issue. The case was hastily closed following Chris Watts's confession, leaving significant evidence unprocessed and potential accomplices unchecked. One such person is Nichol Kessinger, against whom there are serious allegations of involvement in this quadruple homicide case. There is a strong possibility that justice may not have fully been served due to local officials' failure to thoroughly investigate if anyone else was involved. The urgency of this matter cannot be overstated. We are dealing with a crime that claimed 4 innocent lives. The horrendous nature of this case alone demands more than this case was given by local government and the Weald County District Attorney's Office to find and convict all, you see that, guilty parties involved. It is our duty as citizens to ensure that all possible avenues are explored and every individual involved is held accountable for their actions. An investigation into the handling of this case by the district attorney's office should also take place. I'm writing this because this is something I care about deeply, and it won't happen without the support of people like you. Starting a petition isn't something I would normally do, but I was moved to do so because there is so much evidence overlooked and swept under the rug. I strongly believe that justice has not been served until Nichol Kessinger. There was obvious tampering with evidence and obstruction by deleting of texts and numerous other incriminating evidence overlooked in this case, even coming out of the Weald County's DA office. I know I am not alone, and together I hope we can make this change happen and bring true justice to any criminal act committed by people who were not charged in this case. We must urge the Weald County authorities to reopen their investigation into Nichol Kessinger's potential involvement as an accomplice, obstruction of justice, or tampering with evidence in this case. We owe it to those who lost their lives and their families who continue to seek closure. Please help to get true justice for Shanann, Bella, Cece, and baby Nico. It is an election year, and the only way change may be possible is to elect a new district attorney. Local residents of Weald County need to get out and to the voting polls this year and make a change. This is your community. It deserves so much more. Sign and share this petition today and join us in demanding a comprehensive reinvestigation into the Watts murders case for true justice to be served.
Oh. I Googled Pamela Thompson. Thompson is a very common last name. It's interesting. She mentions the election year. So
it's not an election year yet, right? It's
next year. It already was.
Okay. So this is an old petition.
Yeah, I think she started it in December of last year because I want to say he just got reelected. He took the spot then. Because
those elections are every 2 years, right? So
yeah,
it would have been in 2024, and then it'll be again in 2026, right? Or is it on the odd years?
Well, actually, I think it's the odd years. It makes me wonder, is she from Colorado? If not, she's done some digging and knows that, the DA was going to be going up for election. But from what I researched, you guys, I don't think anyone ran against him. So I'm sure this woman, Pamela Thompson, has also reached out to Michael Rourke without a response. If you guys didn't know, his wife has a podcast, and he went on there talking about this case and pretty much made fun of everyone for thinking that Nichol was involved. They have deleted that podcast. It is no longer up anymore. So
what was that? I missed it.
Oh, okay. His wife has a podcast. She is a sexual assault victim, and Michael Rourke, the DA, worked on her case. This was many years ago. After the case was done and over with, I don't know, they somehow met up and they formed a relationship, got married. I believe they have 4 kids. She has a podcast, and she had her husband on the podcast, I believe it was a year ago, and they talked about Nichol Kessinger, and he said it's ridiculous. I wasn't able to hear all of it because it's been deleted. But I don't know if that was a personal choice to delete it, or did his boss tell him to delete it? I reached out to his wife saying, "Can you tell me why you deleted your podcast? Would you guys be willing to speak out?" No response.
Would she have gotten sued and been forced to delete it and not, be allowed to tell people she's deleting it? I mean,
Possibly. So, it makes me, he is not blind to the fact that people are bothered by this. And I, knowing a little, a bit about what you do next, I had reached out to Michael Rourke, didn't get a response 2 times. So I reached out to the Attorney General's office and explained the same thing again. I just launched a podcast. People are interested. They want to know, is this case closed? Was everyone, and I didn't even mention her name, were there other possibilities of people involved? Because Christopher took a plea deal so quickly, there are people who feel, and even Tammy Lee was quoted saying, "I feel like we didn't finish investigating." So I reached out to Lawrence Paccio, I think I'm saying the last name right, with the Attorney General. And I let them know. They respond back to me. "You need to contact the district attorney, Michael Rourke." So I said, kindly, and in a kind way, I wrote back and said, "I have tried several times to reach out to Michael Rourke, and he does not respond." And I said, "What would you do, and where do you go when a district attorney will not answer you?" And this was the response from Lawrence, which I was really surprised I did get a response. "Jennifer, the district attorneys in Colorado are independently elected officials, and they have the primary responsibility for enforcing our state's criminal code. The Weld DA's office prosecuted this case. You'd have to work with them. You could maybe reach out to the CBI," which I've already done. And then he said, "The Colorado Department of Law does not comment or engage in cases in which the state is not involved. I wish you luck, and thanks for writing." So at that point, I kind of gave up. But then when I saw this petition today, I did write the governor's office. May not get a reply back. I may get one of the media specialists kind of give me a vague answer back, but pretty much, just I have made it clear I am not saying she had any involvement, but I really feel for the people who want answers in this case.
yeah, I mean, I'm curious, but I don't know. My view seems to kind of fluctuate, and I remember the first time I heard about this case, my first thought was, well, what did she do? How was she a part of this? It just seemed very plausible, not knowing anything about the case. But the more fake stuff I keep seeing, or at least the stuff that I assume is fake, if it is real, somebody should, verify it, like somebody official. I think there's a lot of fake stuff floating around. And I
Absolutely.
just kind of, I don't know. When I saw that, because I only saw that Nichol Kessinger video a couple days ago for the first time, And, it felt really weird because somebody was spying on her in a funeral, at a funeral,
Well,
and,
confirmed that was a stream from the funeral home, because some people were not able to attend. But who leaked it? I mean, like, that's shady, to be honest with
I
you.
mean, it's just, you're mourning a loss of someone, and then I don't know, maybe somebody who attended was like, "Oh my god, she really is there. I'm gonna let everybody, know," because there's a pretty big community of people who are still talking about this case all the time, and it's pretty old, Um, I mean, we don't know. I mean, I think it looks like her, but maybe it's not. There's people who look similar, right?
Yeah. I mean,
But I mean, that was the first time I believed that she wasn't, intentionally in hiding, and that the state or somebody was helping her stay hidden. Um, and then with the other things, it just kind of makes more sense that she probably didn't do very much. Is she guilty of something? Maybe. I mean, maybe, some kind of smaller crime. I mean,
destroying the SIM card. Could you be charged with that? And
well, that's the thing. I think that Detective Kevin, he said, it's not illegal to do that. It's really not. It's not illegal to delete the stuff off your phone either. But deleting it right before, the police ask you for your phone is suspicious.
right. Are you able to access the folder, Rob? Because there was something
Um,
I dropped in there too.
I
Um,
I
it's for
think send me the link again because I've got my own drives and like I just access stuff I didn't even know I still had uh,
so I,
from like a year ago.
I had heard that she changed her name to Nicole Miller, which I thought was kind of funny because the people who bought the Watts home, their last name was Miller, and it's such a common last name. But I have a public record search document here is it easier if I drop it into Facebook to you?
I'm trying to find it. I think I might have found something. I see
And
Chris Watts phone. I don't think that's it.
send it to you through Facebook if you're able to save that to your desktop and pull it in. But this is her legal name change. Um, and it's
Nope, that was not the link.
um,
Um,
I just
oh,
dropped.
I see. There's a link. There we go. Um, but see, even this doesn't look like a real.
Wait a
Like,
minute.
is they got the whole image or?
I don't know what the link is, but it's a photograph. It's a screenshot that I took,
Okay.
and I dropped it in the book if that's
Yeah, I
easy.
found it. I just got to try to figure out a way to show it.
Gerald 2 cents says there was DNA that wasn't tested because of Chris's confession. There were a lot of things not done, because of Chris's confession, which almost maybe the law needs to change where even if you do plead guilty, we still have to investigate and do a better presentation at court. I don't know. I feel a little angry that Chris was not forced to see what he did, but other people had to be victimized and deal with PTSD. Okay, so now I see it up on your screen. So we've got the birthday, July 1988. Wasn't her birthday, I think July 3rd, because they spent it together. Katrina, that was her friend Danielle. Her mother's funeral. And if you do search in the discovery for, I cannot even remember Danielle's mother's name, but if you do a Google search, the obituary does come up and it matches her. So it would be really crazy if Nichol knew someone that looked like her, that knew her friend Danielle, because the obit matches. There's another picture that I dropped to you where it shows her aliases.
I'm trying to find it.
See, oh, it's in Facebook too.
Oh, I see.
Also,
Yeah, save it real quick.
I'm checking chat for us too. Yeah, isn't that interesting? You know, like she's not hiding it that she's, and I find it also interesting she did this in Aurora because she was originally arrested in Aurora, Colorado when she was 19 years old.
So what is her middle name? Is it Lee?
Yeah.
Isn't Chris's middle name also Lee?
Yes. And they were the baby Nico Lee.
Wow.
Mirabelle, yes, the discovery continues to dwindle down, but if you saved the PDF from the beginning, you have the original. I want to say mine's 2-something odd pages. But yes, it does continue. That's why you always got to screenshot things. Keeping an eye on.
But did you have anything else?
I'm checking our chat.
But so I got something to share that it's gonna be used for tomorrow's live that I've saved.
Yeah, we're gonna go live.
You guys can hear this. Tell me if you hear the music.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout.
This also terrified my kids today. Well, one of them was like, I kind of like it. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about ghosts.
Yeah, all paranormal.
Hopefully, I might end up getting stuck at work late, but hopefully not.
Well, yeah,
I do have a plan at least this time, and one of my friends also might be joining us. Also, if I can figure out how he can join, I don't know. He doesn't have a YouTube like we do, but he might have a regular account. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe you could also add him on StreamYard. Yes, Mirabelle, I will figure out how to figure out the gift memberships.
Yeah, somebody else told me about being able to gift like 10 per month or something like that. I've never seen it. I've never had the option. I've looked many times. And, I would like to have more members. I only have a couple. I really appreciate the couple that I do have, but if I could give a free thing away, I mean, I would, but it doesn't let me. I've even checked on settings on the actual YouTube page, and I don't see anything.
At some point, I'm going to try to do another giveaway. No, they want you to be able to allow them to do gifts to you.
Oh, really? I think you can. Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
Down by the chat, there's a little $sign, and it says, show your support for Timeless Mysteries. Let me see if I can flip my camera around so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But Mirabelle, I think it's right there. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know if memberships mean that would be like exclusive content you're creating just for members.
Well, with the members' content,
That's
you know,
true.
when I make a post, I can actually